And just like that, WWDC is officially done. So, as you guys know, the event was just now. I'm giving my live reaction and thoughts of what I thought of the event. And for the most part, a lot of the stuff was pretty cool. More of it really was more of a catch up, but we're going to try to exclude the catch up phrase because I feel like a lot of people are using this as a catch up. So let's break it down from where we started. So, obviously, they got the boring stuff out of the way, depending on who you are. Let's start it up with tvOS. So tvOS getting minimal upgrades, nothing too fancy. Thank you, brother David. So tvOS got its biggest upgrade with the Apple TV app coming in 2019, the end of this fall. I'm falling asleep right now. But on top of that, though, there is some new screensavers and a couple of other big things. Next up, though, is watchOS. Now, watchOS 6 is going to have its dedicated app store, new watch faces, and a couple of other modular styles. I have a feeling those are going to be more heavy on the 4 and less on the Series 3 and 2 and all those others. So watchOS 6 was very, very cool. But again, like I said, it's probably going to be just for the new one, and it's going to not give us all those big features with the older ones. Next up, we also got was now iOS, and that was the big highlight of the show. So as predicted, dark mode came out. We got a lot of cool features. Siri is getting smarter. They talked about the HomePod getting the multi-user feature where it will distinguish voices, which I really, really thought is cool because now it can separate the differences for security and stuff. And they really went heavy on security. Now, I know Apple has very good security, but it's really a shame that they keep bragging about it and keep on like over and over. Like, we get it. Like, do you want an award? Like, we get it. But it's interesting that they do take that time to accept and tell people that we care about your privacy, and I'm happy about that. And with iOS and all of those things, it was no different. They talked about CarPlay, the new maps, everything with iOS, and to be honest with you, the AirPods feature with the reading messages is something I've always wanted. It's just a shame that I no longer use AirPods, but it's good to know that if I do go back, it will still be there. In iOS 13, though, I feel like they were overhyping the dark mode just a little too much because dark mode it's just a feature that just helps with your battery, but it doesn't really it's not a life-changing feature. But again, it is what it is. They spent a lot of time on that on the apps. They talked about the redesigned Reminders app and a couple of other things, but also let's get into the big one, the one that I was really looking forward to, iPad OS. So finally, we are going to see the iPad get its own OS features, and it's not going to be related to the iPhone. Thank God. Now, most of you are probably saying that this should have been the iPhone XS Max, like what the iPad can do because of the power. You're definitely right, but we got to take it one step at a time because Apple, again, they still got some things to catch up on. So we can't really keep on saying they didn't do this and that. They got some stuff to catch up on, but they played catch up pretty well. Now, one thing I noticed with the iPad OS is that it's taking a lot of features from Mac OS and, like I said before, going to be its own thing. And this is the selling point because you are going to take a tablet and you're going to sell that as the new computer. The things like that is supporting external hard drive, allowing you to download from files, all that stuff. That is truly amazing because not only are you finally getting the stuff that computers have, but you're getting desktop features. And I like that a lot because now your iPad can now become a laptop. So that makes so much more sense because I will be getting an iPad Pro. So iPad OS looks very interesting. Then finally, the end of the show, which was the motherload. I know I'm only skimming through. This is really just a summary, and then I'll give my overall thoughts. And then we got Mac OS. Now, if you guys don't know, Mac OS is just really just a regular desktop, but Mac OS, it is now a Ocean style, I believe. They are going for Mac OS, not Mojave, but they're going for Katrina. I don't know how to say it. Not Katrina. Karina, something like that. I'll probably find the name somewhere. Catalina, that's it. Then, before they talked about the software, we got the one product that I had a feeling they were going to do, and something I even was surprised, their Pro Display monitor and their Mac Pro. The brand new cheese grater makes a return. I kind of like the design. I was never really, a big fan of the symmetrical design. I mean, it was interesting, but it wasn't really an interesting design. But the Mac Pro cheese grater design, that's classic, and I can let that slide. The thing that got me shocked was that Pro Display. I thought it was pretty neat. And I was just about to do it until I saw the prices. And look, this is the one instance where I'm not going to bash Apple for the pricing, because this certain device is not for average consumers. This is for pro users. And what do I mean by pro users? Pro users that take pictures, that need heavy lifting in production, productivity. And this computer, the Mac Pro and this Pro desktop, is not something for the average consumer. So I'm not too crazy about the pricing on this, but again, this is not for an average consumer. But it also makes the iMac Pro kind of a little bit useless now, because now you've got a better Pro display and a better Pro desktop computer. My only issue is if you're a Pro user, that's still a lot of money to dish out. So I'm not too keen on that for Pro users. But again, for the average consumer, this is not the computer or not the thing for you. The iMac and other things are just for you. Unless you can utilize the power in the iMac Pro and the Mac Pro, the specific device is not for you. So I'm sorry, but do not come up at me and say, oh, but the price is so expensive. Guys, this is not your device. This is for Pro users. Now, for the Pro display, I am kind of shocked. I was really compelled, but then they said that the stand, they sold, guys, the thing that I was laughing my ass off, they told the stand for $9.99. You realize $9.99 for a computer stand. And the whole crowd reacted. They're like, what the fuck? Yes, I'm cursing. But they have every right to be. It's really ridiculous. $1,000 for a stand. And you can say all you want. You can say, oh, but it moves up and down. You can turn it. Guys, $1,000 for a stand. I don't care Pro or not. That's a ripoff right there. Just keep the regular stand that it comes with. So those were the two hardwares that they showed off. And I was glad, though, that the Pro users are getting their Pro stuff. Then we get to Mac Os Catalina. Now the Mac has become more powerful. And as I said before, they did split up the iTunes, but also keeping the things that iTunes, like syncing your iPhone. You can still do that. But it takes a lot of stress off of iTunes. You have the Apple Music app that is separate. You got Apple TV and Apple Podcasts. So now you can utilize all three specifics. Then also included in Mac OS was also some more, as you could say, more apps from iOS coming over. And that's really it. That's it for Mac OS. And overall, what did I think of the event? Well, to be quite honest with you, I wasn't really upset. I was actually pretty shocked because they played a lot of catching up to do. Siri, it does need a lot more work, but I can see the guy in charge of Siri, the new guy that moved from Google, he's making some big changes because Siri is a lot more useful this year than it was last year with Siri shortcuts. That was just a joke, but it's utilizing now and it's getting much better. So I'm glad that they're showing some work. I really thought this was a success for Apple because they needed to show the software. iOS obviously is great software. I can't complain about it. But now it all comes down to the hardware. Are we going to see hardware that can match this power with next year's iPhone? And that's where we go right into September with the 2019 iPhones and the new iPads or anything that comes out. But that's for next time. But that's it for the event. My final thoughts, pretty good, Apple. Pretty good. Not bad. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, this is a live reaction, so if you're wondering why I'm not in my usual location, it was live. I just finished watching it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know down below. Did you see the event? What were you looking forward to? What did you get? Were you excited that they gave dark mode? Let me know your thoughts down below. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and peace.